a lot of work to make a child's play. Imagination, every step of the way. Some reading, music, dance, a spark of energy, a little bit of chance. It takes a lot of work to make a child's play.
Victor's dream still going, still creating wonderful pieces of theater and encouraging kids to do more writing. I always remember Victor saying, and kids, if you want to be a good writer, be a good reader. That's Victor.
You know, when I think of Child's Play, I really think of Victor and June and their just love of theater and their love of play. It's one of the great names I've ever heard, Child's Play. It kind of says everything in a nutshell.
What's great about this is it empowers kids to be creative in their writing, to know that can be a really fantastic, fulfilling experience. That a story that they made up can come to life right in front of their eyes.
Sam, supper! I made your favorite, peas, asparagus, and liver.
Yum! My favorite!
By the way, Jamie's mother called. She's been grounded.
Grounded?
For 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It seems she broke Mrs. Lawrence's window.
Yikes! Who are you? I am Zico Lai. You created me by lying to Mrs. Lawrence.
Stay. Don't worry, he'll stick around.
Well, the handsome young squire tried to free them from the tallest tower.
Ha!
And from that day on, the queen ruled the land wisely.
And the squire and the princess were married.
And they all lived happily ever after.
The end.
Give me a shot!
Now you don't know that for sure.
Yes, you shot!
All right, looks like we have no choice. We're gonna have to do the CAT scan.
It takes a lot of work to make a child's play.
Victor was a visionary, an artist whose unflagging love and determination for his art forever affected those who were lucky enough to have worked with him or known him.
I'll just start with some of the things that I remember about Victor. He was very generous and loving and kind and warm and very, very professional person. And also a kind person to the children. He cared. He cared about how those kids, what they thought and what you were doing for them, and he cared about the program.
Well, maybe he doesn't have to buy it, but he gets mad at him.
And he was just a very, very nice, warm person. He loved Child's Play, and he loved what he did, and you could tell he was the best one at it. He was the best one at it. You know, you would be struggling with trying, how are we going to put this thing on its feet, da-da-da, and he would just come in and look at it and just be able to do it at a drop of a hat. He just had that skill.
I think that's why Victor loved you so much, because the two of you had this unbelievable wit, and it was like when you were together, it was just magical.
I'm never too busy to help teach the children. Never.
I knew from watching him on stage and in rehearsals, he was absolutely fearless. You can hear him giving his instructions to an actor, performing himself, but he never parodied a child's story. He honored it, he believed it, and performed it on stage and made it real, with the simple lesson that theater is the place where you can be exactly who you are.
Theater does have the power to transform. It's absolutely true. And it transforms often from a very, very young age. And I always look with great admiration and you know, really it was an extraordinary thing that Victor did with June, creating this remarkable company that has survived difficult times, still challenged, as most theater companies are, to create very, very specific and wonderful work, which they continue to do today, and they've been doing for over, oh my gosh, almost 40 years.
We'll banish all of your blues. Yes, we will. We'll banish all of your blues. Everybody now. We'll banish all of your blues with some really good news.
I'm the Carbon Genie and I'm here to say you gotta save your energy every day. Save it quickly now and save it up fast. Don't you dare waste it all, cause it just won't last.
Our little girl hates recycling. What are we gonna do?
Pardon?
Yes, dear?
I have an idea. Let's go.
Swell.
It's the green adventures of R-Man. The R, of course, stands for reduce, reuse, and recycle.
You can reduce it by opting to go with a lunchbox instead. You can reuse it by making that same bag last an entire week. Or you can recycle it by placing it in one of those nifty blue bins that you see at your school or playground.
The play aims to teach children the values of recycling and how they can play a role in protecting the earth.
Sometimes textbook lessons on recycling and ways to be green can be a little bit dry and boring. So we try to make it interesting and exciting.
The show is a production of the Child's Play Touring Theater, which started more than 30 years ago in Champaign-Urbana.
The green theme is something that's near and dear to our heart. R-Man was actually created by Christopher Baltnick, who is now in his 30s, when he was in his, 10 or 11 years old. So it's been around for 20 years.
Child's Play productions always incorporate children's ideas. Kristen Vernon, who stars as the green superhero, adapted their stories for this show.
Last year, we went to a lot of different schools and we did workshops about recycling, and we gave them ideas about things to write, how not recycling, how not taking care of the planet can hurt different aspects of the earth. And the kids wrote back a lot of responses and stories about that.
You see, Jordan, even one kid can make a difference.
It's time to nominate Kids for President. Child's Play Touring Theater's Kids for President is a musical based on stories and poems written by children all about what they would do if they were president. Adapted during election years since 1988, the show asks new generations of students to tell us what issues are important to them.
All the drugs and rules are pouring out to me.
Miss Kennedy, yes!
What is your stand on the economy? Then, if I run for president, I do what I can to make more jobs for my fellow men. Yes, and I do my fair share, and all hard workers got their share.
Could I do it? Be president, you see?
Say, can you see?
Have good ideas. Why not choose me?
Why not choose me?
To run the race, to put the USA on the map once again.
The taxes would be dropped way low, and the city streets would be cleaner than snow. If I were president, if I were president, if I were president, if I were president of the red, white, and blue.
Victor said something that still touches me. I thought it was profound at the time, and it still works. Children's writing has a freshness and innocence. It has surprises that an adult would never come up with. Childhood experiences are universal, and presenting universal truths makes great theater. This company creates great theater.
Write a story about a prince who's handsome, brave, and strong. Write a poem about a man whose nose is 12 feet long. When you write, you can tell the world how you feel inside. When you write a story or a poem, imagination takes you for a ride. Write a story about a cat and dog who always fight. Write a poem about your big sister who thinks she's always right. When you write, you can tell the world how you feel inside. When you write a story or a poem, imagination takes you for a ride.
Hi, my name is Victor Patagrossi, and you're about to see the Child's Play Touring Theater. Child's Play is a unique traveling children's theater. The thing that makes it unique is that we perform only original plays adapted from stories written by children. We take the characters, the narration, and the dialogue from stories just the way they're written by young authors, and then we as adult professional performers will add things that we've learned from our crafts.
Yay! Super drop! Shucks!
I'm going to quit my job and follow my secret dream. It is to be a chicken farmer.
A what?
I know. We'll consult my chicken farmer manual. That will tell us what to do. It's just a simple matter of chicken psychology.
The mission of the theater is to share, encourage, and to validate the creative writing of children by transforming their words into live theater.
I'm too high!
Grandpa did not know how to eat his soup, and it's by a first grader.
Grandpa did not know how to eat his soup.
Good.
Mike Zinzer is about to enter every kid's worst nightmare. He's about to enter the Opera Zone.
Oh yes you will, oh yes you will, you will, you will. I won't be. Mom and Dad, they always say, eat them up before you play, but I never eat them.
The idea is to motivate kids to write. They watch a child's story written maybe by their classmate, and they say, I can do that too.
This is a stick up! Hey, get him up a little higher, school marm. All right.
Here's $2 for my fellow man. Just please stay out of that garbage can.
I can't take your money, son.
No, really, here, please, take it.
Well, thank you, young man. That's a nice thing to do.
But I feel good inside.
Because I did what's right. Do the right thing. Peace.
Teachers are really searching for new approaches to teach writing and new ways to make writing accessible to children. And I think theater is one of the fun and simpler ways to go about that.
Let's make them separate characters. Give them personalities. Let's pretend that we're at Great America. Yeah! And we're going to be on a roller coaster. Everybody hold on to that bar. I don't want you falling off. Hold on to that bar. And then it starts to go up. I want you guys to tell me how you felt and what you saw and what you heard while we were on the roller coaster.
That you could hear roller coasters about squeaky noises.
And what did you feel?
I felt my stomach going around in circles.
You felt your stomach going around in circles. I think that we have written a poem.
And Shakespeare, Keats, or even Mark Twain of the 21st century may be busy in his or her classroom today. Leave it to a child to imagine being a banana, stalking an ant, or watching God as she works. But company director Victor Patagrossi says he would never tamper with the storylines from his young authors.
Some of the children's writing we get is really exciting, vibrant kind of literature, very sophisticated. Some of the most charming things are things that could only be written by children, and because of their limited sophistication, the innocence that comes out of their stories is devastating.
Those works hold a young audience's attention like no other children's theater.
Well, my television, ashes! My piano, ashes! And my brand new lazy boy recliner, ashes! Pete, get down here! Your naughty mother, I've been practicing my skills. Hey, yes, Pete, I can see that, but every time you sing, flames come out of your mouth and you burn something new down. Well, this week, the dining room, last week, the living room, and we haven't seen the dog in a month. It's time for you to get a job. A job? Well, you can't sit around here for the rest of your life. I simply can't afford it. Besides, everybody knows, all together, dragons don't sing opera. Well, I saw your help once inside, and I'm here to apply for the job.
So many children's theater groups just do things that are cute, and the kids lose it. They don't care all the time, but they're doing stories written by children. So the kids are really interested in their topic. It's something that they can identify with. It might be about dinosaurs, but it might be about dinosaurs having trouble with their brother or sister. Not only does the audience pay attention, but Victor Patagrossi says the children who watch his shows are stirred to write stories of their own.
Certainly it's easy to get excited about making the music or doing the acting, but writing the stories is not something that's touched on so much in other children's theaters.
So what do they say to him?
You are a robber! Go to the underground! They get in a fight.
The kids whose stories we do perform, I think they get a tremendous sense of validation. Here's professional actors, grown-ups, taking something that they worked at with their own time, their own words, and treating it with respect and elevating it through performance.
Now! But listen, there's one rule. Whatever that dragon wants or needs will be your responsibility. Deal?
Whatever.
Deal?
Fine! It's a deal! Whatever it wants to be my responsibility! Where's my dragon?
And always they look for stories that will entertain the young author's toughest critics, other children. The company's best tool for holding wandering young minds is audience participation, both as writers and as guest stars.
He connected on a very primal level with the innocence of children's writing and the raw truth of the things that they brought to what they would put on the stage. Victor would read thousands of stories. He loved to read their stories. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. It is so impossible to conceive unless you ever walked into their apartment or their home and saw all of those stories spread all over.
We get the kids putting pencil on paper, and we get them thinking and brainstorming and seeing the options. Stage what they've written, take what they've written from page to stage, and share their feelings and thoughts and hopes and dreams with an audience.
It does not matter what they look like, or what color skin they have, or how kind their hearts are, then you still must do one thing: educate us. Educate us, teach us from the light, so there's no need to lie.
Because once they give this back out to the audience, and then they get this positive feedback from the audience to the work that they created, that is so powerful, it's transforming. Child's Play has performed for over 4 million children and their families. We've toured from Alaska to Florida, from Maine to California, and many states in between. We're always mindful of getting the words really true to the child's vision,
Someone's trying to take over my kingdom.
but then at the same time making opportunities to have the other children in the audience participate in that piece.
And it started to rain.
At the core of our work, what we call New Voices, and that's where the children's stories are premiered at their school.
Very brave.
And it's always so exciting to watch a young author get up on stage to receive their certificate before they've seen their piece performed.
City Hall, Jackson Gonzalez. Big round of applause for our world premiere.
To see the excitement in those kids' faces. You know, when you give them their certificates of creativity. It's like the Academy Awards, and all they want to do is write a story. They can't wait to get back to math, to write a story, you know, and it's just a wonderful feeling. And you just get a sense that, you know, you've made a difference in their lives. You know, mission accomplished.
The thing that's really wonderful about a Child's Play residency when we're working with the kids in depth is we create a safe environment for them. They feel like anything is possible, which it is.
As soon as that spaceship landed, out popped several.
Every kid is so much more complex than we think they are. And you never know what that child's story is going to be unless you create that safe place for them to share.
We feel sad. We feel hurt. We feel like crying.
Child's Play is really an important organization for many reasons. The most important one, however, I believe, is that it represents an investment in kids at a stage in their lives when it really can have an impact and make a difference. If you reach children when they're young, give them alternatives, teach them about other things in the world, you can change the course of their lives. Child's Play does that. Most importantly, it gives them the kind of self-esteem that they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
That's just the kind of thing that life-changing experience that makes you feel that what you're doing is worthwhile and that you're taking all of your energy and your talents and you're putting them towards something, and you know what? You're growing a garden. There are a lot of students that we work with in some of the more struggling neighborhoods where the kids have a hard time just with growing their imaginations, where there aren't as many books being read, there aren't as many pictures on the wall, there aren't, a lot of opportunities, cultural opportunities for them to see and experience. And with Child's Play, we can open up the doors to their imaginations.
Child's Play has developed curriculum using all the state goals.
We can build a program around one word. If they want to work on respect, we can do the whole program around that.
Manners are a must. If the world had no manners, it would be a disgrace. Curse words would be heard. What a shame, what a shame.
My adjective for Child's Play would be phenomenal. The kids are from different academic and cognitive abilities. And they all work together as one. And when they were performing, you couldn't tell which one could do 8th grade work and which one could do kindergarten work. They all worked together. They were grand.
Any creative process that a child is involved in is going to help them learn. And that's the bottom line, is how can we help our children learn?
We have 3 scholarships that we're giving out for our summer camp at the Goodman Theater. The first one is to Felicia Templeton.
It is a real synergy when we're working with the kids. We get them excited about their abilities, and then they excite us about our abilities, and that's why we still keep doing this, because it feeds us as creative artists as well. The kids' creativity is rocket fuel for us.
The fundamental core of Child's Play's vision comes from a respect for children. And by respecting them and respecting what they have to say and listening to that.
How about hero? No, how about she goes, as hero, and I go, villain. We'll always be friends forever. As hero and villain will always be children.
And helping them find a way to express it.
Nobody does it like me. If there's a song, let me sing it. A dance, come on, bring it on. Nobody does it like me. Nobody does it. Nobody does it.
Hi, Scott.
Well, hello there, my fine young yeoman.
Hello, yo. It's a wonderful feeling. It's like $1 million, It's like you've had an effect on this kid.
Once upon a time, there was an old dog. He wanted to be a rooster. Yo quiero ser un gallo. Sky is so gorgeous. The stars are very marvelous. The moon is so enchanting. And so is my mother.
Are you ready to be fabulous? Are you aware that this is your final dress rehearsal?
Imagination takes you for a ride.
This is Jeff Richmond, who is a good old buddy of mine from '89. It was when we first.
1989, August.
Yeah, August of '89. And here we are, going to give the Victor Award to Jeff. And why the Victor Award? Victor Patagrossi passed away in 1995, and about a year later we wanted to honor his memory and give the award to people that had the same kind of love for child's play and were very excellent and striving for excellence, which was Victor's other side of him. It was always excellent. It's got to be excellent. And Jeff, of course, embodies both of those things to the hilt. Jeff's legacy at Child's Play is so multifaceted. He is truly a Renaissance man.
Here's $2 for my fellow man. Just please stay out of that garbage can.
Nah, I can't take your money, son.
No, really, here, please, take it.
Well, thank you, young man. That's a nice thing to do.
And had, raised the bar so high as far as the music direction was concerned. It was very difficult to find, and we had amazing, talented music directors come through. And Jeff helped to create the song that we use now as our theme song, Stories and Poems. Was sung probably to 4 million people during the course of the last couple of decades. Jeff's legacy is also in the visual side of what we did. He did these beautiful masks for our WOW program.
To the coasts of Tanzania. I'm gonna catch you, cheetah! You'll never catch me, slowpoke!
That we used throughout. And the drops. We had a bevy of visual backdrops, and between him and Michael Thomas, they left quite a legacy, working together hand to hand while they were there, and then Jeff's beautiful brush of so many different backdrops that we still use and touch up to this day, if you can believe it. So his legacy is in so many different aspects. He even did our graphic design for our brochures that we did back in that day too. It was like, what doesn't Jeff do?
Good Lord. Did you pay me enough? Because that sounds like I did a lot.
No, we definitely didn't pay you enough.
We were trying to cast the Christmas That Almost Wasn't as a guy named Adam McKay. Who has since gone on, is still a friend, Second City, and he's still, he liked Victor so much. And he's like, Will Ferrell and him have a big movie company. He wrote Anchorman.
Yeah.
I said, I know this guy's really funny. He's really big. He could play Santa Claus and Victor. I said, well, I'll bring him in.
I auditioned for Child's Play. Jeff Richmond was the piano player at Child's Play. Now, of course, a composer, married to Tina Fey. Funny, great guy. And I was broke. I was an improviser, and he told me to come, that they needed someone to play Santa Claus for like 3 months over the holiday seasons. And I went and auditioned, and Victor was there. And they told me to sing and dance, which, for me is the equivalent of saying, you've got to speak Mandarin and perform heart surgery. So I clotted my way through it, and I'm sure sang completely off key. And Victor just was such a good guy, like right in front of me to Jeff. He just goes, Jeff, he can't sing or dance. And Jeff just said, you know what, Victor, hire him. You're going to love him. And Victor went, okay. He trusted Jeff.
To watch Victor watch Adam McKay do Santa Claus was pretty enjoyable.
So it was like 2.5 months, I got to play Santa Claus, which is the equivalent of playing Elvis.
My relationship to Child's Play is I was there the day it was born. I watched it coming alive. I helped to write the bylaws. Victor Patagrossi was my very dear friend.
The award that honors and remembers Victor Patagrossi's life, a man who was friends to so many, is now being bestowed upon the man who was Victor's best friend. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Cross. As Victor passed, June is my Wonder Woman. Our woman has bracelets and an invisible plane, and Linda Carter can eat her heart out. And I just want you to know, June, that in my entire career, this is my very first award, and I just want you to know what this does to encourage a young actor.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Mr. Smile, and he smiled all the time. There was another man named Mr. Frown, and he frowned all the time.
Don't know why there's no sun in the sky, stormy weather since
When Mr. Smile saw Mr. Frown, he asked,
Hey there, mister! What's that crazy, funny, upside-down smile doing on your face? What? I said, hey, mister! What's that crazy, funny, upside-down smile doing on your face? What? Take it off. What? I said, take it off. Now turn it upside down. And put it back on. There! How do you feel? I feel great. Yeah? I feel like singing. Yeah! When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
The end.
It was like really imagination-y, so like the kids got to make up this play and it ended up pretty good. So today I really pretty think that the play would be pretty good.
Did you like that you got to write it, or do you prefer when other people write plays, or do you prefer when you get to write it?
Well, I like both because it gives time for other people to have their imagination. It gives time for me to have their imagination. So it's kind of both good.
It takes a lot of work to make a child's play. Imagination, every step of the way. Some reading, music, dance, a spark of energy, a little bit of chance. It takes a lot of work to make a child's play. You send the stories, we read them and play, to find ways to show what your words say. I think this story dances along. I hear this poem, sounds like a song. This one is funny, it makes us all grin. This one reminds us of some place we've been. It takes a lot of work to make a child's play. Imagination, every step of the way. Some reading, music, and dance, a spark of energy, a little bit of chance. It takes a lot of work to make a child's play. We think your stories have something to say. That's why we work to turn them into plays. Some may be happy, some may be sad, or filled with accounts of adventures you've had. If you've got a story and want it clear, send it to us, maybe you'll see it here. It takes a lot of work some reading, music, dance, a spark of energy, a little bit of chance. It takes a lot of work to make a child's play. Now the set is up, it's time to start. You wrote the words, we'll play the parts. You gave the spark and now we'll take it to heart. It takes a lot of work to make a child's play. Imagination, every step of the way. Some reading, music, dance, a spark of energy, a little bit of chance. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to make a child